the room. And when I locked eyes, yeah, I got in my mood. Looked up and I could see someone staring at me. Who snuck into my room. It gets even better when you. I'm not telling you, see who's been dying to be. Walks right into my nude. It gets even better, I'm telling you. Ooh, 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 it's you, it's you. Ooh, 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 it's you. I say, ooh, 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 it's you. Ooh, so who you might guess is into my room. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the LexChat. Thank you so much for tuning in. You just heard my song, It's You, by me, Lexi, from my album, Love Reset. And that one right there, I'm extremely proud of that song because it's just such high energy and it's just such a feel-good record. And yeah, if I had the choice, I do have the choice. I would do a video to that one. Like, that is one of my favorite. I've been wanting to do more upbeat songs. I got that one and I got Miranda. I'm very pleased with that one. It's a good time. And it's all about self-love if you really, really listen closely to the lyrics. But anyway, if you like the sound of that song and you want to hear more songs from the project, then feel free to check it out. This is from the Love Reset album. That song was called It's You, but you can find all of my music on all major streaming platforms. If you want to go the extra mile in getting the full, authentic listening experience, then I would please encourage you to go to my website and purchase the physical album and purchase the option where you can get it signed and get a personalized message on the inside of it as well, because having that physical copy in hand, it just makes the experience of the music so much better. I really want for us as a society to get back to that. But you can find that. You can purchase the album by going to my website, www.LexCATL.com. That's www.LEXCATL.com. Right now, you are tuned into LexChat, my podcast. LexChat is a show dedicated to music and entertainment where we talk about the industry and the business, and we help each other to become better artists and better creatives. You can catch these chats live on Instagram at LexCATL. That's at LEXCATL to be part of the conversation, or you can catch the replays on major podcasting platforms like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and don't forget about YouTube as well. Wherever you are watching or listening, please make sure you like, subscribe, share, follow, just all around engage with the content. That really helps me out a lot. And leaving comments and reviews, it helps the algorithm, and it tells the algorithm that, hey, this is a good piece of content and we should share it more. So that would be great if y'all could do all of the things, whichever one fits into your life and your schedule the best. But yes. So another thing, right? If you want to go the extra mile in supporting me, then please consider becoming a patron of mine by going to patreon.com/LexCATL, where you can make a monthly donation to help me to be able to create and give you more valuable content on a more consistent basis. Shout out to my official patrons right now, official Mr. Flat Shoals and Eldon Cleary. Thank you guys so much for consistently supporting me. Y'all help me to make a lot of things possible with that support. It really also mentally helps me to know that I have people that are supporting me. So I thank y'all so much. Before we get into the LexChat, I want to give y'all some updates and announcements. Had a coffee date last Sunday, which was November 5th. Yep, that was November 5th. And I think it was a success. I think it really was a success. I had three gentlemen join me. I had iWordplay, Shots Fired Productions, and I had Tampa Boy Beats join. And we had a great conversation. The whole purpose of coffee dates is for the community of creatives to come together and not just network and get to like see new faces and see people that we might be able to collaborate with, but to help one another. If we're struggling with something, we give each other advice, or if we need to be pointed in a certain direction, then we can put people onto our resources or, again, the advice aspect really helps. The brainstorming, the think tanking with people who are doing similar things as you. And I do invite other people who are not necessarily creatives to join the coffee dates on the first Sunday of the month at 12 o'clock. But right now it's all creatives. But I do think that people in any field can benefit from it. So if that sounds like something y'all want to do, then please join us for the next one. It's a virtual coffee date. All right. The next one is going to be on the first Sunday of the month. That's December 3rd. Sunday, December 3rd at 12 p.m. on Instagram Live at LexCATL. So y'all join me. If you would prefer to have it on YouTube, like if you prefer to view on YouTube, then just let me know and I can arrange that as well for you. But the first Sunday of the month, that's Sunday, December 3rd is the next one at 12 o'clock noon on Instagram Live at LexCATL. Hope to see y'all there and see what y'all need some help with, what we can help, what the community can help you brainstorm and think tank on, right? Next announcement is my birthday is coming up on December 6th. And all I want for my birthday and all I want for Christmas this year is for you to go out and buy the album. Yes, buy the album, Love Reset. It released earlier this year. July 4th, 2023 is when Maurice and myself released the album. I would really love it as a happy birthday gift, as a Merry Christmas gift. Merry Christmas, Lexi. Happy birthday, Lexi. I bought your album, the physical copy. Now, if you want to buy the digital because maybe getting physical copies is not really your thing or you don't have a CD player, I would want you to buy the physical just for the experience of seeing a physical copy of the music. But if that's not your thing, then you can also find it on iTunes. Okay. But otherwise, if you decide that you want to bless me with a birthday and a Christmas present, you can find the physical copy. You can order it at my website. That's LexCATL. That's www.lexcatl.com. Okay. So updates, announcements are out of the way. What's up, Born Talib? Welcome to the Instagram live chat. I see you. What's up, Quavo? I see you. Welcome to the LexChat live. This week on LexChat, okay? Let's chat about discipline. That's how to be disciplined with writing, recording, and performing. So on the latest coffee date, I told y'all that I was joined by three guys, Wordplay, Shots Fired Productions, and Tampa Boy Beats. And a good portion of our date was spent with each of us needing to be more disciplined in one stage or another of our creative process, whether that's consistently getting in the studio, consistently writing, consistently working out, consistently getting out of the house to meet people, or consistently planning on how to move forward with the next stage of the creative process, right? So I want to chat with you about some of the advice we gave each other on how to be disciplined. Keep in mind, we are each individuals and we have our own ways of handling discipline and being disciplined. So I hope you can find something that works for you based on what the advice that we gave each other. So let's get into it. I want to give you a quick overview of what it is we talked about. So there are 3 main points that you would have to take away from the LexChat, right? I mean, from the coffee date, which the highlights. So the 3 main points. Ask yourself, are you creating an environment where you feel free to be creative? Okay. Another point is to just do it. Make yourself do it and the rest will follow. If you make your body get into the groove of doing it, then the mind will follow. And then lastly, the advice that we gave, find a community to keep you disciplined and find people who will call you out. So now what I want to do is I want to play a clip for you. It's going to be about 7 minutes long, 7.5 minutes long. And it's going to sum up some of the advice that we gave one another. So let's listen. My struggle from this past month has been the discipline of going to do live shows and just not leaving the house for real. Which word, that's always what we talk about. He was trying to get me to come out to the Monday nights and I still have not made it out, which I'm aware of. I'm gonna do better. I will be coming out. But y'all have any advice for me on how I can get over that, or is it still just a discipline thing?
Um, with me, and just because I'm also going to school to be a counselor. Hopefully one day I can go get my PhD in it as well. Hopefully they pay for it. Prayerfully they pay for it. But anyway, it was just saying that with creatives of being creative, and if you're not in that mindset of being creative, it's just not gonna, your best work or what you want to put forth is not gonna come through. So I don't think it's procrastination more than it's perfection. So I wouldn't even think of it as procrastination, but knowing that, okay, if I'm not in the mindset to go live, is this live gonna be what it needs to be? Is it gonna serve how it needs to serve? And if it's not, then I can't call that procrastination. I gotta call that me being in the kitchen and cooking up something new or cooking up something that when I do go live, it hits how it needs to hit. That makes sense.
Yeah. It's not procrastination. So if it's not procrastination, what would you call it? It's not really like a desire, so I don't prepare for it, or
well, if you're not in the creative mindset, so you got to be in the creative mindset to be creative.
Creative mindset. Yeah.
So if the mindset is not there, then it's okay. Is it due to what happened earlier today? Is it due to what I'm thinking about of my personal life, bills that I need to get done, or situations in personal life that I need to get done? All that affects our creative mindset. And if we're not creatively there, then one, we're not feeling how we usually feel, our natural feeling of feeling free and being able to speak and do what we need to do. It's bondage. It's your bondage to what you're thinking about, all the other things that's going through in your life, all the other mindsets that you're having to deal with, then getting on live, and then, okay, am I mentally prepared in this situation to be able to go on live and doing it? I feel like it's just your body saying that you're not ready to get on live at that time or to do that activity at the time. Same thing with my video. I started to tell people, like, it's not going to be like a week when you get your video back, because I don't know. I got from school, I teach, I do all these other things. I have all these other creative things that are going on in my life that I can't guarantee that I'm going to get to you in 4 or 5 days, right? So I don't even give myself that timeline to be, okay, stressed about it. Right? So even if it's, okay, just saying, okay, these are my timelines and this is how I feel that my piece will go through with this, then this is how I'm going to go through it by my piece and to protect my piece. Because at the end of the day, it's about protecting your piece.
I actually factor all that in. For me, I factor all that in, and I still push myself to go do, because 9 times out of 10, when I still go do, I always just feel better after I do it. And then it kind of helps me get past all the other things. I forget about those things, and now I just want to do something that I love to do, and I didn't allow those other things to block me from going to do what I love to do. So it's really just knowing you and knowing that, understanding that life is gonna happen, and you're not gonna always be inspired to do the thing that you love. But 9 times out of 10, when you go do that thing you love, you're gonna feel a whole lot better. So with doing that a lot of times, now I just know it's just like, all right, it is what it is. I ain't gonna let nothing stop me from going to go do what I want to go do, because I want to do this. And I think about stories from success stories all the time, bro. People be tired. People be dealing with losses. People be dealing with a whole lot of things, and they still go do what they love to do, if this is what you want to do. So, obstacles, hurdles, got to go through them.
Yeah. I agree with what Wordplay's saying. But I also think that some people just don't know what they're really going through, right? And they don't. Hey, you're a strong-minded person, right? You're a strong-willed person. That's how you. That's now, right? Some people don't have that confidence and that will and that fight to just come out the womb like that, right? Or they don't have the knowledge to be okay. I'm going through this, and this is how I can handle it to be able to push through. Or I push through so many things consistently that I can do it without, and I know after I finish doing it, it's going to be a better.
That part right there. That's where I'm at. I kind of went through it early to where now I just know. You feel me? Like I just went through it early to get over that hump, because like shit, I've been there. I've been in that situation many of times, but just doing it enough, like anything that you do enough, like you just, it becomes normal to you. So now it's more easy for me because I've done it so much to push myself beyond my limits.
When y'all are talking about that, I'm just relating in my mind to how I treat the gym. I don't treat my music the same way I treat the gym. Like the gym has become a habit, and I've set aside specific days, and I even plan the workouts that I'm going to be doing on those days. But with my music, it's like I don't keep that promise to myself as much as I do the promise to work out. So when you say you just get up and make yourself do it, there's a discipline aspect there, but then there's also you said you wanted to do. It's like you're holding yourself accountable, and you're not letting yourself down for whatever promises you made yourself.
But see, I don't do that with the gym. That's what I need to do with the gym. You know?
Okay. Okay, I don't feel too bad. Yeah. We all struggling.
No, definitely.
So that was a little segment of how the conversation for the coffee date went. Again, I want to give a shout out to iWordplay and Shots Fired Productions. Later on, Tampa Boy Beats joined us in the conversation. But yeah, that little piece right there, especially when I tell y'all they called me out on some of my own BS. But suddenly something clicked for me, you know? I think as creatives, we're all struggling to, I think, find balance. And that's the main thing that we have to be mindful of. So something that I really loved that Shots Fired Productions said, he asked the question, you know, are you even allowing yourself to be in a creative mindset? A lot of us are affected by the environment that we're in or the lack of a safe creative space. And so if we find ourselves struggling to have discipline, the discipline to write, the discipline to record, the discipline to get out the house and perform, the discipline to maybe even just hit people up, you know, follow up with people. The reason why we might be feeling a way about that is because we're not nurturing an environment that makes us feel safe to be creative. So how do we nurture a creative environment around ourselves? You got to ask yourself, what am I stressing about? You know, did something throw off my vibe? A lot of people, a lot of artists, the main struggle, and this is for me as well, the main struggle is struggling with finances and having the budget to be able to do things the way that we want to do on the scale that we want to be able to do it. That's got to be the main struggle that I hear about from artists, not being able to move the way they want to move. And so to that, I would say, this is something that, you know, maybe you might not want to hear, but if you are someone who is struggling financially and you don't have the budget to be as creative as you want to be, maybe you need to figure out a consistent money source before you put pressure on yourself to get into the studio or even to write, you know? I've come across a lot of creatives who struggle financially, and my advice is always, you know, do you have to have such tunnel vision to where you are limiting yourself to this is how I can make money and this is the only way that I'm going to make money? Because I think if I use the example of engineer, right? If we're engineering and we enter into a slow season, the last quarter of the year is very slow for music. It's very slow. And so a lot of us are not making our monthly quota when we get to the last quarter of the season, the last quarter of the year. But a lot of creators either haven't prepared for that financially, or they don't want to pick up an odd job to compensate for the amount of money that we're going to be losing during the slow season. And so I would give the same advice to any other artist out there who's struggling to be consistent, because you don't have, like, you have this stress on your mind of, how am I going to pay my bills? Or I didn't make enough money to pay my phone bill this month. I didn't make enough money to put enough gas in my car. I'm putting $5 and $10 in the tank, barely making it. You know, if that's something that's weighing heavy on your mind, I know you hate to hear it, but you might have to take a step back and go get a consistent source of money before you can feel comfortable creating. Like with some people, like with guys, right? I've heard a lot of guys say they don't even feel comfortable entertaining women if their money is not right. I think it's the same mindset when it comes to entertaining money, entertaining music. I mean, if music is your woman, if your money is messed up, how do you feel right entertaining that woman? You don't. You got to get yourself back together. So if you're struggling financially, that might be something that's taking you out of the creative mindset. I know for myself, I struggle with anxiety. So speaking from personal experience, I struggle from anxiety. A lot of my problems are their mental issues. So I have anxiety of just, I don't want to go outside. I think it stems from me being an introvert, but it definitely got worse over the pandemic, which I hadn't realized that the pandemic actually affected me so heavily, but it did. And anxiety came about after the pandemic, which I had never experienced before. But in my mind, like, I know I just have to go out and do it despite how I'm feeling mentally. And that's going to be one of the next points we get into, but just get up and do it. I'm fighting against my introverted nature, so I struggle with the anxiety, but I also struggle with the fear of having to do things alone all the time. And for me, I mainly need to stop thinking that I don't have people I can call on to see who might want to go out. I do have people, I just don't call people. So the same thing that like Word was talking about, as far as just getting up and doing it, iWordplay. I just call him Word for short, but his name is iWordplay. Shout out to iWordplay. What he was saying during his portion, right, is a lot of times he figured out early on that he just had to get up and do it. And even if you don't feel like doing it, when you make yourself do it, that is going to, like, your body is going to follow. So you got to think the Nike mindset, right? Think the Nike mindset. Just put your body in motion and your mind is going to follow. And if you make yourself do it enough times, it's going to become second nature, and eventually it becomes a habit. So we were all laughing about how I don't feel like I'm very disciplined with a recording schedule myself, with recording and writing. And I'm getting better with getting out of the house. I'm making myself do it. But I'll give an example. Today I'm recording this episode. It's Sunday, November 11th. Friday on the 10th, one of my clients hit me up and said, well, he needed some advice for some stuff, but he also said, hey, if you're not doing anything on Saturday, I'm performing at this show. Would love if you come out and support. And so I didn't have anything planned for Saturday. And that was my test for me, right? That was my test. You told God that you want to get out the house more and you want to, support people more. The opportunity came in the form of a text message on my phone. Hey, I'm performing. Can you come out and support? If you're not doing nothing. I wasn't doing nothing. So at that moment in my mind, a few hours before the event comes, I'm agonizing like, oh gosh, I don't know if I really feel like going. Like, what if I just stay home? It won't hurt if I miss one performance. But then I thought to myself, and here's something else that I want y'all to take away as a gem, right? You have to be willing to give the things that you want to receive. So I think a part of my anxiety is if I just did for other people what I want for them to do for me, then I think I would be sowing that energy and attracting that energy into my life. And I think that would help me with my anxiety a lot more if I stop worrying about who's going to do what, because I know I offer it, so I know it will come back to me. The frustration comes when we are impatient with when we think it's going to show up. But as long as you're just sowing that positive energy, you're putting that positive energy out there, you're going to attract positive things back to you. So all of this plays into the discipline of it all, right? I just have to, like Word was saying, just do it. And once you put your body into it, your mind is going to follow, and you get entered into the moment and you're locked in with that thing. And so for me, it's working out. I need to find a way, not find a way. I know how it's done. The way that I work out, I plan when I'm going to work out, and I plan what I'm going to work on for each of those workout days. So I work out Monday, Wednesday, Friday in the mornings. The night before, I know that I need to go to bed at a decent time if I want to get up to work out at the time that I said I want to work out. And even though it's cold outside of my bed, even though it's cold outside, sometimes it's raining, but it's finally cold weather outside, I don't feel like getting out of my warm bed. But I know what I told myself that I wanted to do. I said I want to get up and work out on Monday, Wednesday, Friday. That means Sunday night, I go to bed at a decent time. That means Tuesday night, I go to bed at a decent time. That means Thursday night, go to bed at a decent time so I can get up and keep that promise to myself when I said I wanted to get up and work out. And it's the same thing that I need to apply to my music for me personally. The days that I'm not working out in the morning, maybe that needs to be my musical workout. So that leaves Tuesday and Thursday for me. And for some reason, I just really have a problem. Like I haven't felt like doing things. And that's what Word addressed in what he was talking about, right? There's a lot of times you're not going to feel like doing it. You got to make yourself do it. And I think for me, if I just get into the habit of getting up in the morning and doing my regular, wash my face, floss, mouthwash, brush my teeth, take a shower, get dressed, eat a small breakfast, maybe just do tea or an apple or banana or something. And then I immediately come into my studio room and I sit down and I pull up a beat and I just try to do something. Even if I think it sucks, my body is used to getting up and doing something, right? That's how I can overcome my discipline. I just have to force myself to do it. Now, how simple does that sound, right? That sounds extremely simple, and it is extremely simple. The thing that we're constantly fighting is our emotions. We're constantly battling with how we feel, and these things don't require feelings. They just need you to get up and do it. So when Shots Fired Productions was talking about creating an environment that you feel safe creating in, that you feel free to let that creative energy flow, that for me is something I need to do. Like I'm thinking about it right now, right? The reason why I don't like sitting at my desk is because I don't like this squeaky ass chair that I sit in. It's basic. So maybe for me, maybe I need to make myself more comfortable in my studio. Maybe I need to turn the heat on in my house so I can get out the bed and not feel stuck to my bed. It just feels so good, y'all. Oh my goodness. The bed just feels so good. But because I have all the tools that I need right here. And I don't know what all of you are personally going through. These are just some examples that, have popped up for me, and some examples that I've heard from other creatives where we really struggle with that discipline. And there's really only two answers to that question. Well, three answers. We're about to get into the third one. The first answer is nurture a creative environment for yourself. All right. Give yourself the best possible work conditions and tell yourself, what does my ideal mood and my ideal day look like that will get me in the mood? If you're the type of person that environment affects you, all right, which, it has an effect on us all, but also there's that other component, the other piece that Word was talking about. You're not always going to feel like doing it. So yeah, we can try the environment thing, but at the end of the day, you just got to get up and do it. Just get up and do it. And then the last answer to this question of how do we stay disciplined with our craft is to find a community that's going to keep you disciplined and is going to call you out and keep you accountable. So, I didn't play the segment here, but if you go back on my Instagram page at LexCATL, I have the coffee date for November 5th still up. It's pretty lengthy. It was only supposed to be an hour. This one turned out to be like 2 hours long. But there's a piece in there where we talk about how hard it is to find a team. And it is very difficult to find a team. I'm not talking about finding a team. I'm talking about finding a community. All right. There's a difference between finding a team and finding a community. Within a community, each individual is doing their own thing, but you surround yourself with other people who are doing their own thing. And when you're in a community like that, you can inspire one another. You can help one another. You can challenge one another. So something else that I want you to think about, kind of circling back to the question of, do you have an environment that nurtures your creative mindset? Are you willing to change your social environment to help you in your creative mindset? And that's a decision that I came to maybe like a year. It's been 2, maybe 3 years by now. It's probably been at least 2 years. That's one decision that I've made, like changing the people who are around you, changing the influences around you. That comes to people who are physically in your face. That also comes to what you are feeding yourself from social media. Okay. On Instagram, I used to do it once a month years ago, and now I just got back into it. But I'm cleansing my page and I'm seeing what are some things that pop up on my timeline that don't serve me and actually kind of mess up my mood. And even if it's not messing up my mood, what are some things that pop up on my timeline that serve as a distraction? And what keeps me scrolling? Like, why do I get so glued to this phone? Why? And I had to go through and start unfollowing pages that don't help me in any way. If it's not educating me, if it's not, yeah, for real. Honestly, if it's not educating me, pretty much, I don't really want to see it. If it's not educating me and if it's not something that's inspiring me, inspiration might be I see other creative friends doing things and that inspires me. And I also have to keep myself in check too, because I don't want the spirit of jealousy. I want to be inspired. I don't want to be jealous of people. So when I look at the people who are around me, if I'm jealous, I think that's a problem. Either I need to check myself, or maybe that might not be a good environment. But if I'm jealous, then when it comes to checking myself, right, what am I feeling inside of me? What is this emotional environment that I'm feeling that's causing me to not be inspired? Why would jealousy be the emotion that pops up instead of feeling inspired by someone, So, that's the whole reason why I started the coffee date, is to help build a community of people. And it's focused on creatives, but I wouldn't mind if other people who are not necessarily creative, but are just, other professionals, it would be nice to have that in the community. But I say that if you find a community that's going to discipline you, a community that's going to call you out, they're going to help to inspire you, challenge you, and just help you, be great if you could have all three, right? That's why that's why I came up with the idea of the coffee dates, is to build that community. Coffee dates on Instagram, LexCATL, first Sunday of the month at 12 o'clock on Instagram. All right. But it's really important to find those things. So you have to create an environment that nurtures and puts you in a creative mindset. All right. And that's going to help. But at the end of the day, you have to just get up and do it. Right. So nurture your environment. That was from Shots Fired Productions. Get up and just do it. That was from iWordplay. Find your community. That's from me, Lexi. That's why I started the whole coffee date idea. All right. Tommy Cole Music says I need all three and need part of the coffee. Yes. Well, join us on the coffee date. First Sundays of the month. You just missed this one, November 5th, but the next one is December 3rd at 12 o'clock here on Instagram Live. Okay. 12 o'clock Eastern time. And yeah, so these are simple answers to how do we stay disciplined with writing, recording, and performing. These are simple answers. Take your feelings out of it. At the basic level, you just got to do it. You just got to get up and do it. And once you start doing it, you'll be able to determine what is your ideal environment to put yourself in. What is the ideal environment you want to create to keep you in that creative mindset? And if you need a little help, find your community. Even if you don't think you need help, find your community, because people will say things that will spark in you some revelations. It'll inspire. Like when Shots Fired said, maybe it's not that you don't want to go perform. Maybe it's just that you are not in the mind space right now to be out performing. And even though I know that in my head, I was fighting against myself on that little truth. So to hear it outside of myself really was like, maybe he's right. Maybe I don't need to put the pressure on myself of getting out and doing certain things. But now if it's something that I want to do, what has been holding me back? Is it the mental environment inside my head that's been holding me back? And I think that's what it is. The anxiety and the fear of always having to do stuff alone, and the introvert. I'm always fighting against my introverted nature. I don't understand why I chose to do music, and I really don't even like people for real. Like I don't like going out the house. I'm so cool with chilling. If I have my close knit circle, that's really all I need in life. But I want to do music, and what comes with it is getting out of the house. I just got to get up and do it. And that's all the advice I have for you on today. And thank you to Shots Fired Productions and iWordplay for y'all's solid advice from the latest coffee date. It's solid advice. It really is. It really is. So I thank y'all so much. And those of you who are tuned in listening, I hope that you caught some gems from this conversation as well. And I hope that through hearing some of my struggles, some of their struggles, and some of the advice that we gave each other, I hope that sparked something in you to help you get on being more disciplined with your writing, your recording, your performing, the administrative side of this music business. I know it's hard, but you just got to get up and do it. You just got to do it. So I thank y'all so much for tuning in today to LexChat. Remember, you can catch these chats live on Instagram at LexCATL to be part of the conversation, or you can catch the replays on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and YouTube. Leave comments and reviews, engage with the content, like, share, subscribe, follow. I appreciate all of those things. If you'd like to become a sponsor for LexChat, or you just want to support, there are two ways you can do that. You can become a patron at patreon.com/LexCATL, or you can buy advertising spots during the podcast. Okay. We got pre-roll, we got mid-roll, we got post-roll. You can buy those advertising spots for your business or your services. You can find the details on how to do that in the description. You can email, you can text. Social media is not the best way to hit me up right now because I only check my DMs like every few days and I really don't even like doing them. But yeah, emailing and texting would be the best ways to reach me on that. But before we go, I want to give another shout out to my supporters, Official Mr. Flat Shoals and Eldon Cleary. Thank you guys so much for consistently supporting me. And remember, you can buy my album Love Reset through my website, LexCATL.com. That's www.LexCATL.com. And a last reminder that the next coffee date is going to be the first Sunday of the month. That's going to be Sunday, December 3rd at 12 o'clock p.m. But thank y'all so much for joining. Thank you so much for joining me. I don't know what I was about to say. Thank y'all so much for joining me today on LexChat. My name is Lexi. Until next time, peace.
It gets even better, I'm telling you. It's you.